When you're not with your dog, you think about them all the time. Don't panic, I'm not psychic. Your secrets are safe. I just know that because I feel the same. But the big question we are all desperate to know is, do they miss us in return? How much do they think about us? Are they as obsessed with us as we are with them? Or do they forget who we are the second we vanish? Does your dog think about you when you're not home? Things are about to get a wee bit Christopher Nolan because it's time to analyze how dogs perceive time. Because to truly understand if dogs miss us when we are gone, we need to comprehend if they realize that there is a future when we'll be back. It sounds like a stupid question, but here's the thing. Dogs don't perceive time in the same structured way as we do. You see, we mark time with seconds, minutes, and hours. Imagine how much more fluid your concept of time would be if you didn't understand the basic principles of seconds, minutes, and hours. That's what dogs are dealing with. So without a basic structure within which to understand time, how do dogs perceive when it is? This blew my mind when I found out this fact. We all know that dogs have strong noses. There's nothing they can't smell. That even includes time. They use their incredible noses to quite literally sniff out when in the day it is. Dogs respond well to schedules and patterns. If you feed them at the same time every day, they get it. If you leave for work at the same time every day, they get it. If you come home at the same time every day, they get it. But they can't read the clock. They've not got pocket watches tucked away in their fur, yet they always seem to know that dinner is due soon. They always wait for you at the door, knowing you'll be coming home any minute. How do they do this without knowing the ability to read time? Your house will smell different at different times of day. Whether it's a smell that you, with your rubbish human nose, can smell, or smells that you can't, there is a complex menagerie of scents going on all around us at all times, and dogs are picking up on them and base their concept on what happens when around what normally happens when the house smells that particular way. In short, so long as you come and go at roughly the same times each day, they will know those rough times thanks to their incredible noses. Now the big question, does your dog actually miss you when you're not home? Given they are, as mentioned, often waiting for you when you arrive, the answer, at least on an anecdotal level, seems to be yes. Don't worry, proper scientific research agrees. Studies have shown that the levels of excitement a dog can exhibit when reunited with the guardian, their best friend, are high to say the least, especially if it's been a long absence. In fact, a 2011 study revealed that the longer the period of separation, the more intense the reaction. Which begs the question, how long can you be separated before they forget you? Don't worry, I'll get to that a little later in this video. These intense emotions make one thing clear. Of course they miss us! So, if we know that they can miss us when we're gone, and often do, what is racing through their minds when we are not around? For some dogs, it's business as usual. They nap, they chew, they stare out the window, they roll around, and then, when it smells like, my fave person is coming home time, they race to the door to say hello. But for other dogs, separation anxiety is a real problem. Dogs with separation anxiety may pace, whine, or scratch at doors. They might even howl loud enough that your neighbors have had to pop over and have a word. Worst case scenario, that will engage in destructive behavior like chewing chairs, legs, and ripping cushions to shreds. Obviously this isn't good, but they can't help it. They don't understand why you're leaving or when you'll be back, which can lead to stress. While this is horrible to hear, it does at least confirm that they care. In fact, research suggests that separation anxiety is more common in dogs who have a particularly strong bond with their pet parents. So as upsetting as it might be, it's certainly a sign you've done a wonderful job of making them feel a part of the family. But how long does that distress last? We all know that if we leave in the morning for work, then return in the evening, they remember us. We all know that if we go for a week's vacation and they stay with a sitter, upon our return they remember us. And boy, are they excited when we're back. But what if you're left there with a trusted friend for 6 months while you traversed New Zealand? What if you left them with your mother while you spend 2 years on the world's longest work trip? Or 3 or 10? What wins out in the end? Their love or their memory? Your dog's memory works a little differently from yours. It's not episodic, which means focused on specific events and dates and times. Their memory is more associative, tied to people, places, experiences, emotions, and sensory cues. If you have a heart, you have no doubt watched videos of dogs being reunited with pet parents after years apart. And that heart will have been warmed by how the dogs so clearly do recognize the owner. That's because their memories are so tied to emotion and scent that within just a few sniffs, the memories of that happy life you gave them would all come rushing back, triggering those loving memories in an instant. So the answer to the question is, your dog will remember you forever, just so long as you smell the same. And no matter how strong your deodorant is, ultimately the unique smell that is you is too strong to ever truly go away. Here's hoping it's a good odor. So we've established you could hypothetically leave your dog without your company for a decade or more, and they would still miss you and still recognize you upon your return, even if you've lost weight or had a haircut, because your scent is just too triggered, in a good way. But that doesn't mean that leaving them without you is easy. Just in case you and your pup do need to be separated for an extended period, here are some common mistakes worth avoiding. Ironically, considering this whole video is making a big deal about being separated from your dog, making a big deal about being separated from them is a bad move. Many owners shower their dogs with attention before leaving, but this can actually make departures more stressful because of the intense flurry of emotions, affection, and attention. To boot, it makes the sudden absence of that love all the more profound. Instead, try to make leaving and returning a low-key event, like an Irish exit from a house party. The golden rule of dogs is they love fun more than life itself. Without something to engage them, they can go a little cracker. A bored dog is an anxious or destructive dog. That makes keeping the neighbors up with howling or tearing all your pillows to pieces. From treat dispensers to puzzle toys to white noise music, anything you can put in the house that will keep them distracted and engaged is a good call. If you want your dog to be better at handling longer stretches alone, the biggest no-no is to punish them for bad behavior during any of your extended absences. If you come home to a torn-up couch, scolding them won't help, because they fundamentally won't understand that that's what they're being punished for. All this will do is add an even deeper sense of anxiety to the process of being left alone the last time. Because to them it seems that every time you return, you yell at them. Instead, remain calm. Focus on prevention strategies and positive reinforcement training instead. And you'll find pretty soon that the problem solves itself, and when you're gone, they're not chewing the living daylights out of your stuff like they used to. If you do have a dog that loves you so very much that it comes with the unfortunate caveat of bad behavior when you do leave them alone for a little too long, what they need is to make you feel more secure when you're not around. And there are a few ways to achieve that. Dogs thrive on consistency. They love patterns. They love knowing what's happening when. That's why they know when it's dinner time, even if you've not fed them yet. Keeping a predictable schedule can help reduce anxiety in general. And what that means is if the schedule changes one day because you're not coming home as soon as you normally would, it just feels like an exception rather than the rule, and that's more tolerable. If you have chaotic scheduling in general, they'll never be able to find their sense of calm. Their zen, if you will. If they are without you for long enough that a sitter is required, try and get one who can stick to your usual routine. Remember, your dog loves you, and one of the main reasons is your scent. Leaving an item that smells like you, a worn t-shirt, it's a good example and can provide comfort, something for them to snuggle into in lieu of you. Pet cameras are going all the more advanced, and there are now some with two-way audio. If you feel treating them to your voice will boost their mood, and in turn hearing them will help you, these two-way audio cameras allow you to check in and even talk to your dog while you're away. I want one. I want one now! So the question, does your dog think about you when you're not home? The answer, in short, yes. And in the case of some dogs, maybe a little too much. So be sure to show them you think about them as well any way you can. Though maybe not by patting them on the head too much, because it turns out they don't like that as much as you might think. Watch this next video to find out more.